Extra. It is another lovely day, the 17th of this month of January in this year 2021. Another very cold morning, and of course this is week 2 for the students, week 2 of the reopening of schools. And now that means at the end of this week, according to the president's directives, all the other places the economy will fully open up after this week. Now those with bars, those with entertainment spas, etc., are just pressing themselves for this week, because after this week, which will be the second week in schools, then of course the other things will also open up to the public like we used to be in 2019 before the advent of COVID in this country in 2020 March. Now it is where we are today, and of course joining me in studios is a young man. His name is Emmanuel Ahawe. Is that your name? Nahamia Emmanuel. Now somebody called Owen Ahawe, and I thank you. Emmanuel Nahamia, you're very welcome, and thank you so much for coming to studio this morning.
Thank you so much. I'm exceedingly humbled to be with you now.
Okay. What do you do?
My name is Nahamia Emmanuel, as it has been said. I'm a student of Makerere University. I'm offering BCom external. I'm majoring in accounting. I'm in my third year.
Okay.
So I'm the current chairman, NRM Makerere students, representing students on matters of the national level. Yes.
So who made you chairman of NRM for students in Makerere University?
Oh, that was the power of students. Students voted me, they believed in me, and finally they made me the chairman.
There was a party primary at the university?
Yes.
Okay.
We normally conduct elections regarding, actually, we normally follow democracy of the country, and we normally conduct elections that usually lead us into leadership.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's very important. You said you are in year 3, and,
yes,
and you're doing BCom.
Yes.
BCom external.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a very important. But I also want to know what students' leadership for a political party, for example, at the university means.
Student leadership at actually, when we come to political parties, that is mainly based in government institutions, public institutions. But of recent, it has been forwarded to private institutions. An institution like Makerere, it's a policy-making institution. So it's like Uganda summarized. When it comes to politics, the real leaders of the country usually come from Makerere, and you should actually the country bases on Makerere. That is why we usually involve ourselves in political parties.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you do as the NRM leader at Makerere University? I just want to know what your responsibility at the university is, and how you conduct your business, possibly.
Yes. Actually, one of the responsibilities I usually tend to is connecting students with government bodies. For example, when it comes to students having issues with the tuition policy, students having issues with for example, when it comes to, let's say, students have different projects to present towards the government, I'm the link. I usually link those students to different government bodies. Let's say parliament, when it comes to the national secretariat, the headquarters, party headquarters, we usually bridge a gap between students and the government.
Okay.
Of recent, we had issues of State House scholarships. So we intervened we intervened and we had to make sure that those issues are attended to.
Okay. Those days, you know, when we're growing and studying and listening to all these, especially the liberation movements on the continent of Africa,
Yes.
we used to see, and we used to know that universities were some of these breeding grounds of leaders. When you go to, you talk about Makerere University, Dar es Salaam University, the University of Nairobi, you go to Cape Town University, you go to Pretoria University, you go to everywhere. These universities across were universities that there were places that were looked at as places that were breeding leaders. And many of them, we've seen many of them come from universities, start movements that, of course, revolutionized the entire continent of Africa. Do you look at that thing as still there, or majority of you actually just in these positions possibly because you are trying to get something, you're trying to get some advantages here and there? Are your university youth organizations as vibrant as those that we saw creating impact on the continent?
Yes, sir. You see, way back we have been having issues. Actually, the issue of COVID-19 affected students. That's why we didn't become more vibrant the previous years, the 2 years actually, 2020 and 2019, then 2021. But we have been causing impacts. Ever since actually, ever since the university started, for example, we have intervened in different issues. When it came to Tojikwatako, students participated very well. When it came to
so what was your participation in Tojikwatako?
To social media attacks? Yes, yes,
What
yes.
was your participation? Were you for Kujikwatako or you were for Tojikwatako?
Because my decision had to be based on the way it was transformed, because this is democracy in the country. So when people decide, that's when you intervene. So because it had explanatory reasons, because they said they had to consult people, they consulted people. So the process, actually the process was seen to be valid. So in my perception, I saw that the thing as it was a valid movement to Kujikwatako. Because if the people are the ones to give you power, it means when you go on ground and you say, do you need me again? Then the people definitely reply yes. So why would you go extra mile to divert their mentality? So when MPs consulted, because mainly I can base in the regions I know that were consulted. And possibly in my district, we were consulted. And all people said, it's yes, Kujikwatako. So I don't know in other places, but to me, I saw it to be okay, Kujikwatako, because it's part of democracy.
Okay, that's important. Now let's get to the businesses here. You are the university, and you are representing the youth at the university. Of course, you're the chairman. You said you're the chairman of
Yes.
the NRM, Makerere University Youth Chapter.
Yes.
Now that's a part of the National Resistance Movement. Where are you as university students, especially of Makerere University, in national initiatives that your own government is bringing out, especially for the youth?
You see, when it comes to government initiatives, we have been left out actually, because most of the initiatives usually tackle ground level. Yet most of the students are based in Kampala. So when it comes to parish model, I may find it hard to participate in parish model since I'm ever in Kampala. So because most of the students have been having projects when it comes to projects, Makerere is the best. And actually, when I came into power, I started looking into how I can transform those projects into a developmental organizations, because most of the projects are usually innovations. When it comes to CIT, we are the best. Of recent, when it came to agriculture, we are the first. Actually, we are the first. When it came to COVID-19 vaccine and something, we participated very well, and we were represented. So when it comes to government initiatives, well, we have been trying to look into the issue of how we can connect government initiatives with the at students' level, but we always find it hard, because most of them, they talk of operation wealth creation. It came in as a result of reconstructing NADs. So you may find it hard for a graduate from Makerere University to go back after his studies or her studies and start participating in agriculture, because even the Uganda, the population is now becoming dense, so it is very hard to now get a place where to place your agriculture project. So to me, I think I've invented some plans to see how we can connect these initiatives at the youth level, at the students level. So when it comes to youth, being the largest population in Uganda, and Uganda constitutes 78% of the youngest, actually it's among the youngest world population. So for them, they want to see things that are innovative, things that can usually tackle their mind. I think we need to flex these initiatives among youth. Let's say if someone is good in music, you praise something in music industry. When someone is good in ICT, let him do the ICT work and stuff. When it comes to entrepreneurship, we always present the best. So all those projects have failed. Actually, they usually die at idea stage. So they normally, students normally find it hard to continue with their projects even after campus. And that's why actually I think most of the government initiatives have been failing.
Okay. Which initiatives are these that you're talking about, Emma?
Initiatives, for example, we have we started with the NADs. Then later in 2013, Operation Wealth Creation came in. Then parish Myoga came in. Then parish model is now coming in. But seriously, there are some cracks in those initiatives. And this is because most of those initiatives are not solving youth problems. When it comes to problem solving, it means that, for example, if like now, if I finish my studies, I see myself in starting different organizations. For example, I start clearing and forwarding. So I see myself in that perception. So I don't usually see myself going back home to dig or going back home to rear cows. even of recent, we had issues with the animals, so quarantines are everywhere. So we are now looking ahead, because the Uganda today should not be Uganda tomorrow. We should not be the same.
Okay.
At least.
You know, one thing that what fascinates me is the level at which government has actually tried to solve the youth problem.
Yes.
And you say all these initiatives are actually not solving the youth problem. Now, there is a very big industry in this country called youth.
Yes.
Now, when we talk about youth, all of us want to give it statistics according to our own desires. Everybody will call them anything. Now, and we forget that when we talk about the youth or the young population, we even include our own sons and daughters who are actually in schools because they're young, but they're dependents. My children, they depend on me. When I'm here working and I get a salary, then I feed them. I take them to school, I feed them, and I don't think they even need employment because their father is employed and I can fend for them. However, there are quite a number of those, and I'll take you through them. We had what they call the youth entrepreneurship scheme, I think, the youth enterprise scheme, yes.
Yes.
We had what we call the youth venture capital fund. There was that big fund. We then came on with the youth livelihood program, which I think came in about 2013 or 2014, thereabout, with Mr. Pasi Bigirimana. You've talked about the Myoga, you've talked about all these things. Now, I'm turning to think and imagining, you are a university student, Emma, for example, you are in school, you are doing your bachelor's degree in economics, you are a student at the university. How would you want the government to consider you in a Myoga? Because when you look at a Myoga project, they'll tell you, we have a Myoga, categorize yourselves in associations. Out of those associations, make circles over these numbers, come into that, because the Myoga idea is we come together because we have something that puts us, that makes us common. All of us are tailors, all of us are shokoblers or shiners, all of us are painters or fine artists. I'm thinking all of us are this trade. I'm only thinking, how should the government incorporate Emma Nahamia?
Yes.
How should the government incorporate Nahamia, who is a Makerere University student, into a Myoga? I want to know. And I think you should help the government.
Yes.
Because our policymakers may not be youthful like you are, and maybe they don't know the issues of the youth or the problems of the youth as you know them. Let's know. Parish development model. We are talking about parishes. And I think Makerere has got parishes. Makerere itself may actually be a parish of some sort. Now, and I'm only thinking, how should the government incorporate university students of Makerere, of Nkumba, of Muni University, of Mountains of the Moon, of Uganda Pentecostal University, of Lira, of Gulu University, of Kabbalah University, of all these universities into these projects? Because, yes, they are there. They are Ugandans, and I think they need this, but how should they? Let's know from you.
Yes, you see, when it comes to government, actually, to government programs, the first points to be looked through is leadership. So if we involve leaders, youth leaders, into policy making, actually, because most of the policy makers are not on ground. They are not on ground. They may assume all people to be doing tailoring work, to be doing shoe polishing, to be doing all those activities. But most of the times, you find it hard to present ideas to those people, because for them they think youth will be based in those activities. But leadership should be on a forefront, because I've never seen the youth MP presenting such ideas to the parliament. So to me, I think we shall need to have a forum, we youth leaders, to make sure that even students are student issues are looked through, because most of the problems, actually most of the times you find students finish campus. Let's say someone has studied a degree in accounting, he did BCom involved in entrepreneurship, where we had to present projects. After presenting projects, we come out of campus, we go in the field to look for jobs. So when we go the field, when we start looking for jobs, then we create stiff competition in job market. Then you will find you find it very hard to meet to meet those people and engage those people when you're out of school, because even people home, they will be calling you. You know, some of us who come from the village, when you come to campus to study, let's say, after finishing your school, the only thing they expect from you is to start working. But where can you work?
Okay.
I think what should be done is to incorporate student leaders, incorporate youth leaders into government policy making systems.
Okay. What's your structure like at the university? What is your structure, your leadership structure like at the university?
Oh, actually, our leadership structure is very transparent.
But you have it. You're the president?
Yes.
And who are the other office bearers?
We have the vice.
Okay. And how many are you?
We are 45.
You are 45 leaders?
Yes,
all of you at the
executive
university?
leaders. Yes.
Okay. From year 1 to maybe year 4?
Yes, we involve all the years and all the courses.
Okay.
Everywhere we cover the whole campus.
Okay. So you have 45 students, 45 students as leaders.
Yes.
What is your relationship, you as the NRM Youth Leadership at Makerere University and the National Youth Council, for example? How do you relate?
Oh, we normally have we normally interact with those people, because they usually base from the leadership they get from Makerere. For example, the current leader now served as NRM chapter chairman. So the link is not all that far. We usually connect with them, and they usually base from our ideas. However, you see, in a democratic state, it's always hard to quicken decision making. So there is that kind of bureaucracy. Bureaucracy comes in even before reaching to the president. The ideas have already died. So actually the most challenge we usually find in is a lot of bureaucracy.
Okay. Well, it's just half hour, and I'll request that we go for a break. And when we return, we'll continue that conversation. With me in studios is Mr. Emmanuel Nahamia, and he's the chapter president of the National Resistance Movement Youth, what do you call it? National?
NRM Makerere University, actually National Resistance Movement Makerere University chapter.
Okay. NRM Makerere University chapter.
Yes.
NRM Makerere University chapter, and he's the chairman. He's the president of the chapter, Mr. Nahamia Emmanuel, a student of BCom External. Now we'll take a break and come back thereafter, continue with the conversation on this cold Monday morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Topic of the day on UBC, brought to you by
Tulantende ku program obulamu bwo.
was brought to you by
Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Mohamed Salah, Naby Keita, Kalidou Koulibaly, Sadio Mane, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. When you hear these names, you may think you're probably watching the English Premier League or UEFA Champions League, but it's none of those. It's the 2021 Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations from 9th January to February 6, 2022. All these global elite football stars will be in Cameroon to grace the continent's most prestigious sporting event. 52 games, 24 countries, one continent, one trophy, one station, live, free and exclusive to your public broadcaster. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs.
I'm Sandy Kadua Martin, a student of Chambogo University. I've been a lucky winner of 10 million Ugandan shillings, and I'm really excited as I'm ending this year with all that lots of money. Guys, it's real. Just dial *185.
The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Red.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Good morning, Uganda Extra. Thank you so much and welcome back from the break. My name is Jagenda Semakola Ziksoka. We continue with our conversation this morning with Mr. Emmanuel Nahimia, and he's the NRM Makerere University Chapter President. Here with me to talk about matters of youth and development and, of course, their role in initiatives of government. Now, thank you so much and welcome back from the break, Mr. Nahimia. We carry and we continue the conversation. Let me pick it from you and let me know from you. Do you know government initiatives in this country? Apart from knowing the names that there is a Myoga, there is a NADS, there is a OWC, there is now the parish model. There are these general names that everybody on the streets there can actually talk about. Is a Myoga baziba? Is a Gundi baziba? Is a wealth creation baziba? There is that talk on the street, and yes. When you ask people about a Myoga, possibly they will not even tell you what a Myoga is. What do you know about these projects or programs?
Projects like Myoga, actually, I studied it very well. When it came in, it sounded good, and people attracted the acronym. So when it came in, I took my time to revise and study what Myoga means. This project seemed to be a successful one, but it reached somewhere and it became stunted. Why? One, they were not monitored at all. They were not monitored. So when monitoring is bad, actually, these projects can never succeed. So projects. Then another project I saw that was at least that made youth reach somewhere was Youth Driverhood program, but it was not also monitored, because most of the youth, part of the youth who took that money even didn't succeed, so they are not even in the country as of now. So
they stole money and went out of the country?
Of course, when the project failed, they have no alternative. The best alternative is,
because this was little money that they were getting. They were getting 7 million shillings, and how do people run out of the country with just 7 million Uganda shillings? Where did they go?
No, running out of the country.
Where did they go? To Nairobi, Kenya here, or they went to Rwanda?
No, running out of the country doesn't mean that they are escaping from the money. They just escape to look for where they can get, where they can feed from. Let's say you have been seeing companies advertising. We take askari, abatakwata mundu, what drivers, Saudi Arabia, United Emirates. So they usually run to those countries because when they fail, they have no alternative. The best alternative is to run away and you find a comfortable place you can be earning in.
What's the difference between the Youth Livelihood Program and Emyoga?
Yeah, Youth Livelihood Program, YLP, was initiated to basically tackle youth. Then Emyoga was initiated to basically tackle the whole population of Uganda.
But were the youth as the majority?
Yes.
Yeah, but I want to know, well, Youth Livelihood was designed for the youth, as the name suggests.
Yes.
But what is that in the livelihood program? And what is this with Emyoga? That, do the youth also benefit from Emyoga? If yes, I just want to know whether they are only focused to the youth livelihood and nothing to do with Emyoga. Or they can actually be both ways. You can tap from the youth livelihood, but also tap from Emyoga. I want to know. Because you see, you are the leaders. It is you the government is thinking for and planning for, and it is you actually accusing the government of not helping you, not doing enough for you, not putting up policies or implementing these programs for you. I just want the government to listen to you and to know from you whether you actually know what the government is doing for you, or you just like any other person out there who says we have not benefited from this or we've not heard from this.
So YLP actually, when it came to transforming youth, it was the best. Why? It had that kind of flexibility. People who could do cattle keeping, they could go there. We can do bull fattening. So people who could afford buying borders, they could say, my 1.5 million, I can buy a border. I start driving people, I earn something out of it. Then when it came to Emyoga, for it concentrated more on skills. So they wanted to see people doing hands-on work. Why Driverhood program was not focusing on hands-on? Because not all the people can afford hands-on work. There are some people who are, let's say, someone who is HIV positive can't be doing that hands-on work. People who are not actually healthy, or that heresy, they cannot participate in Emyoga. Because if you say we are bringing Emyoga funds for carpenters, for example, me who cannot afford carpentry, I can't participate in Emyoga. When you bring money for let's say brick making, me who can't afford brick making can't participate in Emyoga. But when it comes to YLP, let's say when someone says, you see now, what I can do best is the IT work. I have my IT company, I do online marketing, I do social media marketing, I have my software, I want to transform my software into a developing software. So, at least for YLP, it was flexible in that extent. But when it comes to Emyoga now, it means someone with a software idea cannot participate in Emyoga. So it is just connected to people who can do hands-on work, carpentry, saloon making, hair cutting, those things.
Okay. The national coordinator of Emyoga is my very good friend. Her name is Rita Namuwembe.
Yes.
I can call her. I can call her now. I can. What about if we moved out of studios here and I contacted Rita Namuwembe and I told Rita that there's a young man here from Makerere University and he wants possibly to get involved in Emyoga. Or what about if Rita is actually watching the program now and she calls you hereafter to say, here I am, I'm the national coordinator for Emyoga. What do you want us to do with you? What would you say?
Yes, for example, I moved across the university. Actually, 3 universities, that is Makerere, Chambogo, and Mubs. I made research, I got information, I have all the information that I can explain to her how we can transform youth. For example, I've been presented to actually like 20 groups of people brought their software projects. They are at Makerere, very good ones, to be transformed into developed softwares. But we couldn't help. But of course, we have written to the office, actually the office of the president, to see how we can incorporate those people into the government programs. Then when it came to the school where I'm based at, actually the economics class, we presented very many projects, and I think most of the projects were very good. When it comes to, let's say, someone making biogas out of something, making disposables, making many things actually, I think it was the best. And those ideas were transforming youth, at the same time helping the government to go green. For example, when it comes to biogas making, you can make biogas using these small things, so they don't need a lot of money. So what I can tell her, and what I can tell Uganda, what I can tell government leaders, is to make sure those programs are made after getting research.
In 2017 or 2018, I can't be very sure, but one of those years, 2017, 2018, there was a fund which I think actually still exists in the Ministry of ICT, and this is an innovation fund. And I know of a group at Makerere University, some innovation group at Makerere University that innovated what they call the AIMS, the academic institutions management systems, I think, AIMS.
Yes.
And they got, I don't remember, 2 billion shillings or something from the Ministry of ICT.
Yes.
And several others. I saw this during the times when the Honorable Kajiji was actually Minister of ICT. There was that fund for those who do that. But I'm looking at you demanding from the government. And of course, we see so many government initiatives, because until you tell us you are a student at Makerere University, when we meet you out there, we see another youth, any other youth, and yes, this is one of the youth that the government is actually planning for. But I am intrigued into knowing whether you really know, you as the youth really know what the government is doing with you or for you. Do you take time to know what the government is doing for you?
Yes.
Are you probing into the government to actually know what the government is doing with you, for you? And maybe, I don't know. I only want to know. Because what is Emyoga, for example? The Emyoga itself. Because you talked about NADS, we can tell what NADS is. You talked about OWC, we can actually explain what OWC is.
Yes.
We know what YLP is. Yes. We now talk about the PDM, Parish Development Model. But what is Emyoga?
Actually, Emyoga came in as a way of restructuring operational wealth creation. So all these policies are meant to transform Uganda into a middle-income country. And Uganda has done its best. But the problem comes in with the implementers. Because what I know...
How has Uganda done its best when it is not implementing?
Yes, yes.
Because Uganda should be implementing.
Actually, when it comes to leadership, for example, President Museveni himself can hear that a myoga is taking place in a certain village. But you may find it hard. Let's say now if you want to go and consult people deep in the village about a myoga fund, one will say, see now a myoga, we only got 50K, part of a myoga, we had to put in our money, what? So they can explain a lot of issues, and of which some of them are true, and some are not all that true. But for it has done its best, but the implementers. So the implementers are the ones lagging now. But because now if you can look into Operation Wealth Creation, it also did its best, because most of the people gained from the program.
Okay.
When it comes to NADS, NADS did its best, because most of the people benefited in the program. But after Operation Wealth Creation, actually use Driverhood program, then I think the best, actually the most failing policy is myoga. Myoga has failed a lot.
I am thinking, if I talk to my friend General Kavuma, the deputy commander,
yes,
OWC, and ask him to come to Makerere University, what would you tell him? How would you want to benefit from OWC? Oh. If General Kavuma came to Makerere University today and said, here I am Deputy Commander OWC, what do you want from me? Or if Rita Namuembe, the national coordinator of Emyoga, comes to university and says, where are all your leaders, where are all the students? Here I am the national coordinator for Emyoga. How do you want to benefit from this government initiative as Makerere University students? What would you do with them?
Oh yeah, you see, when it comes to preparation, we have prepared ourselves a lot. Actually,
prepared yourselves for what?
For any program that may come, in, because we have very many projects, we have very many ideas. If for example, if you say now I want ICT students to present their ideas,
but Mr. Nahemia,
tomorrow, yes,
Mr. Nahemia,
yes,
I am bringing you General Kavuma of OWC.
Yes.
So I want your ICT, yes, to get into General Kavuma's business,
yes,
of giving you OWC support.
Yes.
I want your ICT to fit into Rita's, yes, Emyoga project.
Yes.
Yes, because they will say we have all these ideas, we can make this, we can make a rain gauge, we can make thermometers, we can make all these things, but how does it come into, because government is here saying, yes, we are putting so much billions into, we talk about, I think, 270 billion shillings for the parish development model, and the model focuses on particular things and says, once we develop at the parish with this and this and this and this and this, then we'll be able to actually get this. Let me know from you, how would you benefit from this project if General Kavuma came to you, or if Rita Namwembe came to you at the university?
One of the things actually we can do now is to present, implement, and monitor. So, because we may say, because now, when a young man is presenting his idea, what comes into people's mind is that guy wants to get money out of the idea and just jumps away. Because these things have been existing and they have been happening. It's not for the very first time, but monitoring comes in. So now my idea is, when for example, Operation Wealth Creation wants to operate in Makerere University, first and foremost, we can deal with student leaders to make sure that once this support comes in, it is monitored very well until the maturity stage. Because after the maturity stage, it's very hard for the company to fail, at least.
Have you attempted to get some money from Emyoga? Have you tried?
Yes.
You've tried? Succeeded? Failed?
Actually, me, myself, I tried, but I failed.
But Emyoga cannot come to you as Emma. Emyoga cannot come to you as an individual. So that's why I think you had to fail.
Yes. What I did,
why did you fail?
Yes, what I did, we had a group of over 30 young men operating, actually dealing in bull fattening in our village. So when we reached...
Not as Makerere University?
Not as Makerere University, because at that stage we were at the village level. So we had to participate at the village level. Because even if you want to participate in Makerere University, what they want to see, do you have the LC1 chairperson letter, what, all those things. So it's good when you start from
because you're at Makerere University for a short period of time. You are in third year, and the other year you'll be moving out of Makerere to go back to the village.
That's true.
Yes.
So now, we formed a group, we opened an account. After opening an account, they said, you see now, we need to do this, we need to... So the procedures were very many. Okay. And yet we had to concentrate.
And the youth don't want procedures.
No, you see...
I'm thinking.
You see now, when you have very many things on your table, you first, when you try something fails, you try another thing. So when it failed, I tried, I concentrated on education.
At what level did you stop?
We stopped registering the project.
The association?
The association.
Of how many
registered
people?
Of 30 people, over 30 people. We registered. After registering, we reached at the district level. They said, now you need to open accounts. We opened. Then they said, now you need to wait, you need to come, you need... So the procedures became many. Then after we had to join school. So,
okay. Which district was that? Or is that?
I come from Kazo district.
You come from Kazo district?
Yes.
Okay. Are there
Western Uganda.
Yes, I know. I know where Kazo is.
Yes.
Are there anybody from Kazo who benefited from Emyoga? Is there any group that you know that got Emyoga money?
Sure, I don't.
Nobody?
Nobody.
No, then I think there's a problem with Emyoga from that. I need to find out from I need to find out from Rita Namwembe if there is nobody from Kazo who actually benefited from that money. Well, our time has run out, and finally from you, let me hear your parting shot, your final remarks before you get out of studios.
Actually, my final remarks comes in as an advice to young men and young men and women around the country and even outside the country to always not underestimate jobs, let's say ideas. And again, me, I'm always two-sided. I attend to government leaders, to student leaders, to youth leaders to make sure that once government wants to, because government brings an idea that can transform the country, because they want to actually fight poverty. They want to fight poverty and bring the country to middle income status.
Okay.
So leaders should also at least cooperate with actually they should involve in transparency and flexibility.
Okay.
Because when someone of Operation Wealth Creation consults student leaders at Makerere University, they have all the information pertaining in the university. So my advice goes to policymakers to always involve in leaders first.
Okay.
Then after they can concentrate.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel Nahamia. the NRM Makerere University Chapter President, for having allowed to join us on Good Morning Uganda Extra on this day. We thank you so much. It's indeed very cold out there. Molin Kenyana, our GMU presenter here every morning, and of course our expert at weather, says it's a very rainy day across much of Uganda. And moving out of your house with an umbrella, a jacket, or anything that can shield or help you during this time would not be a bad idea. So from Molin Kenyana's weather desk, she says because it's rainy and it might be cold throughout the day, so move out with something that can protect you, and also brace yourselves for a cup of tea or coffee when you get to the offices, especially for those who are not fasting, like I am not fasting. So it should be coffee and tea throughout the day. For God and my country, my name is Jagan Nasemakola Ziksoka. Bless you. We'll talk again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Mohamed Salah, Naby Keita.